It's been a massive week in the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you like aircraft, this is the week for you. We have a bunch of new releases and all the news from this week's development Q&A. So let's jump into it. Welcome to another Microsoft Flight Simulator update video. This is where we bring you each and every week all the important news and updates on the development of this new flight sim in one weekly video. 75% of all people that do watch the videos aren't subscribed, so if you could help us out, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you know when we can tell you when our next cool flight sim video goes live. Before we jump into the developments Q&A, let's take a look at this week's previews and announcements and releases. Kicking off this week's previews goes to the team at Just Flight as they preview some sim shots of their next aircraft, which is the PA-38 Tomahawk. From the shots we can see that Tomahawk will be a very highly quality in detail, as we have seen with their previous aircraft, which is the Arrow and the Turbo Arrow from the Just Flight team. No ETA release other than the screenshots that are being shown, but of course we will keep you posted up to date on this one. Wing 42 this week previewed some shots of their next in development project, which is the Boeing 24-7D. Wing 42 is known for its incredible detail when it comes to realisms and systems in their aircraft. The screenshots showcase some of the interior and exterior shots, but not too much is known about what features will be in the Boeing for release. As always, we're going to keep you posted on this one through the development and any news that is posted by Wing 42. The last announcement for the week, and this one's a big one. This goes to the team at TFDI this week at FS Expo, announced the MD-11 is now coming to a Microsoft Flight Simulator. Originally this was going to be Prepared, but now it's going to do a tandem release with Microsoft Flight Simulator and Prepared. TFDI haven't mentioned much detail about the features, but they did mention that the MD will have an accurate flight dynamics, very high authentic aircraft systems and engine sounds, high resolution textures and detailed modeling. No confirmed dates at this stage when we will see the MD-11 in the sim. Again, we will keep you up to date with anything further developments. I'll leave a link below if you want to check out our friends at FS Elite who did interview the team, and feel free to check that out. In some last minute news, PMDG shared some work in progress shots of the Boeing 737 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Over in the PMDG forums, they mentioned that the 737 is back on track and we should see it in the sims before the end of the year is out. They went on to mention that everyone should be happy with the price. The aim is to make it less expensive and easier for everyone to obtain a 737 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. More news will come from the team in coming weeks, but this is a very, very exciting news. Moving on to this week's releases, and kicking it off, it has to go to Asobo as they release their anticipated JU-52, the Junkers for Microsoft Flight Simulator. After a short delay, the JU-52 is the first of the local Legend series to hit the sim made by Asobo. The JU-52 was developed in the 1920s and it was used as a cargo and in passenger roles. 12 airlines used it actually, and the 52 could seat up to 17 passengers. Some of the features include is the original and retro versions of the aircraft, many liveries, highly detailed exterior and interior, many different animations throughout, and detailed flight mechanics. The JU-52 is available now and you can pick up straight from the Microsoft Marketplace in the sim. Moving on to the next release, and it is another aircraft. This video is pretty much all about aircraft. Fly Iron this week releases the PA-38 Lightning for Microsoft Flight Simulator. The P-38 is an iconic aircraft dating all the way back to World War II. With its distinctive boom tail, the P-38 was used in many roles ranging from combat, fighter bomber, night fighter and escort. Features included in this package is a high quality 3D model and textures, including every last rivet, a wire sound pack built from recordings of the real aircraft, 9 liveries, detailed systems including fuel, engines, cooling and electrical, realistic engine star, engine heat modeling has been done, optional drop tanks and many more. You can pick up your copy of the Flying Iron P-38 directly from their store. I'll leave a link in the description below. And in the last aircraft for the week of releases, goes to the team at Airplane Heaven. This week released the Electra 10A. Again, this iconic aircraft was introduced in the 1930s. We've got a bit of a 30s theme this week, and was a full metal exterior with iconic twin tail. The 10A was also made famous by Amelia Earhart as she tries to fly this aircraft for an attempt around the world flight. Features include a highly detailed interior and exterior modeling, accurate flight dynamics, and many animations inside and out. Now, the sound set though is using the default legacy files within the sim. You can pick up your copy of Airplane Heaven's Electra 10A directly from their website. I'll leave a link in the description below. Moving on to this week's development news, and we have an absolute stack of it. Over at Microsoft Flight Simulator's blog this week, the team has rolled out when and how to apply for access to the next sim update, Flighting for PC. As all flightings, you'll need to get in ASAP if you want a chance, so spots fill up quick. So if you're watching this and you want to join in, quickly go over to the website. I'll leave a link in the description below. This week we were treated with a development Q&A, and that's the first one we've seen for a couple of months now. The team mostly talked about Sim Update 6 and 7. There wasn't really any word or content when it comes to what is happening with the next world update. Sim Update 6 will be released on the 19th of October, and it will have a fair chunk of it is going to be related to bug fixes. The team mentioned they really want to jump on the bugs and push for a stable sim. Crash to desktops is their first priority, but that said that we will still see some features rolled out, and here's some of the highlights what we will see for within Sim Update 6 or 7. Tree distance or the LODs have been tweaked again. This time the team around think they've got a right mix when it comes to trade-offs and visual performance. You may have seen the trees change from Sim Update to Sim Update. This is the 3rd edition at it, and they think they've got it right this time. Aircraft flight mechanics have been improved. This time we've seen improvements in adverse yaw, lift and drag behavior, ground effects. A new coding has been introduced so developers can define their third-party aircraft and have it more tailor-made to each individual aircraft. Wake turbulence has finally been introduced. This is a very important feature for the team fought through the importance of the Reno air races. This is not a full introduction of wake turbulence, but a mere first step for small aircraft. If you're looking for airliners, wake turbulence, we won't see that in the sim to early 22, and we probably won't see the wake turbulence until we see it in Sim Update 7. Night lighting has had another pass, and from what we could see, it looks amazing with the increased render distance of the lights. Satellite rendering has now been pushed out further, and more lights are appearing and being rendered in the sim to produce more lights with a viewable from further away and higher up. Sliders for terrain details have been increased to 400. Currently Ultra is set for 200, but the sliders will now go to basically ludicrous speed, and you can push the hardware to the max with the sliders up to 400 if you want to, and if you have the power to do it. During the development Q&A, we did get to hear from the team at Working Title. This is the team that is behind the NXI, and who were brought on by Microsoft Flight Simulator to update all the things in the Garmin world and to bring it to their full potential. They're still hard at work at all the Garmins, but the team sort of did mention and go through a bit of a flow of what's happening with them over the next 12 months or so. The team mentioned they will be bringing these features from the G1000 into the CJ4. We won't see this in Sim Update 6, but we'll see this in the future. Once they've done that, they're going to work on the G3000s, then on the 430s and so forth. The next big project, once they have all the avionics suite brought up to a standard that the team is happy with, they will look at improving the 787, the 747. So basically, they've been given the task of improving those aircraft. No ETA, but I think that's a bit of a 12 months to 18 month plan for the team at Working Title. During the development Q&A, the team did move over to the feedback snapshot, which gave us a bit of a glimpse of when we will see some of the features that we're wishing for or we want to see in the sim as soon as possible, basically. So here's some of the highlights that they talked about. The goal is to have helicopters in the sim before the end of 2022. A multi-screen functionality is still scheduled for 2022 as well, but there's no ETA of what work is in progress. The replay function, we may see something in Sim Update 7 as a beta or in dev mode, which we may see before the end of the year. This would be a work in progress, and hopefully we'll see a full release of the replay before the end of 2022. Basically, they've got something there that the guys that make the videos from Microsoft Flight Simulator use. Jorg wants to put it in the sim as a bit of a beta and for us to provide feedback. DirectX X12 is in testing for PC. The team is hoping to introduce this in the sim before the end of the year as a optional. So basically we could switch it on and switch it off. This gives simmers the option to stay on 11 or 12. Logbook not popping up at the end of the flight will be updated in Sim Update 7. The Scenery Gateway has stalled. Basically, the concept has been completed, but they are looking for a developer to code it. The team for gliders and sails planes have been assembled and they will start work soon. We should see some more information for that before the end of the year. VR is getting a bunch of bug fixes and enhancements over the next 2 Sim updates, 6 and 7, such as crash to desktops, reflections fixes, blurry textures fixed, fuzzy lighting, low LOD, and many more. Sim Update 7, we will see a VR controllers going to be supported for mixed reality headsets, so basically the whole suite of mixed realities, as well as Oculus, Valve, HTC Vive. The team is paying really close attention, as we mentioned before at the top of the video, to crashes to desktops, and that's always going to be the priority. The team is getting plenty of data and ticking them off one by one as much as possible. Moving on to this week's third-party product side of things. This week we've seen 18 new airports hit various stores around the globe, 3 new aircraft, which we did mention in the video, and 5 new sceneries. No missions have been released. The marketplace has had a whopping 38 products added, which are 7 are on PC and 31 added to Xbox. It's really great to see that the Xbox products is finally catching up to what we see in PC. Jorg did mention there's about 500 plus products for PC and about 150 so for the Xbox, and he said the team on the marketplace is growing this way, that they can actually work really hard at getting these products added and updated and put in the sim so you can purchase them. If you got this far in the video, thank you very much. You guys are a bunch of legends. As part of your pre-flight checks, please hit that like button, and if you enjoyed the video, please hit that subscribe button. That way we can tell you when our next video goes live. Now, only 75% of all viewers that watch these videos are subscribed, so if you could help us out, please hit that subscribe button. We also stream every Wednesday and Sunday at 8 PM GMT plus 10. Feel free to drop by if you want to jump in with the multiplayer shenanigans. PC and Xbox users are all welcome. We're going to leave you there with some other flight sim videos here. Feel free to check them out, and I will see you over there.